Reports. Reports in mobile sales can be turned on and off per user. If you do not want a user to be able to see the reports in the application, you can simply turn that role off for that user. The standard setup for all salespeople and all users, we do include reports for those users. In order to view all reports, you can click on the Reports tab, or you can click on a few tiles from the home screen that will take you to different Reports tabs in Reports. To learn more about these tiles, watch Home Screen. We're going to navigate to the Reports tab by clicking on it on the left, and you see all the possible reports that you can view listed at the top. The first one is Projects. This displays projects in all statuses for the market segments that are created from your production database. You can turn on and off any status by clicking on it at the bottom. If you turn them all off except for bidding and sold, all you'll see is blue and green. The Sales tab under Reports contains the Sales Forecast report, which is probably the most used report. This would be what most people refer to as a pipeline. Again, you can turn off statuses you don't want to view of projects. And we are only going to be looking at bidding and sold. If you go over a month, it's going to show you the project total of cubic yards that would be poured in that month for those statuses. So in October, we have 20,174 cubic yards planned to be poured in the bidding status, and 31,977 yards to be poured that are projects in the sold status. You can also click on these bar graphs, and that will generate a report of all projects that are in that status that are going to be pouring or shipping in that month. It'll display the month quantity, the amount that you are supposed to be pouring or shipping that month, along with the total quantity for that project, and the average selling price of all products on that project. With any of these reports, you can also export them, which will create a spreadsheet that you can then save or print. This can be filtered by market segment, which again is a list that comes from your production database, any of your plants, or any of your sales staff. Sales funnel will show you projects in all statuses, being pre-planning, planning, bidding, pending, on hold, canceled, lost, or sold. These are all projects in these statuses. And again, you can click on the funnel, or you can click on any of these numbers, and that will produce a report of all projects in that status. And again, you can export that as a spreadsheet. These can also be filtered by your plants, your sales staff, market segments, and this one can also be filtered by time interval, being 6 months, 12 months, or year to date. Call report is usually used by management to keep track of what their salespeople are doing. This is a report of all events created by any user in mobile sales. You can filter by sales staff, by the event type, the event status, and by whether it's a customer or a prospect attached to these events. You can also set date ranges. So if you wanted to look at the previous week of your salesperson, select the salesperson, set the week, and you would see all events created by that salesperson for that week, which happens to be 0 for this user. The calendar is reviewed in the video bid calendar, event calendar. Please watch that for a better understanding. Sales performance will display the average selling price of products per market segment. It will also list the top 10 or bottom 10 products sorted by revenue or average selling price. You can change whether you're viewing the top 10 or bottom 10, and you can change whether you're looking at revenue or average selling price. It also has the total number of prospects in the application and total number of customers. Lost sales show you all projects that you have in the lost status divided by the reason that you lost those jobs. And again, you can click on any of these parts of the pie graph to create a report of all those projects in that status lost for that reason. And you can turn off any of the statuses you don't wish to view. Users report is a list of all users with their username, the email address that they would use to log in as, the deviation type, the deviation amount, who they report to, all the roles that are turned on for that user, the companies in mobile sales that they have access to, which this would be relevant if you have more than one database that your application is replicating to, all managers that can view this user, and whether or not the user is active. The last report is the project map. The project map can display all projects and where they are located on the map. You can also display all your plants or all your competitor plants. The competitor plants and your plants can be filtered by the line of business that that plant would qualify under if you have more than one. And you can filter by which region the plant would be in. These are filters maintained in the admin section of mobile sales. If you make any changes, in order to view those changes, you need to click refresh. Now we are displaying the plants and competitors along with your projects. At the bottom of the map is a diagram to tell you what color represents which project status. Well, with the pre-planning and sold are pins instead of the teardrops. You can zoom in. You can click on any of the projects, competitor plants, or your plants to view more information. If you're viewing a project, you can also click on the name of the project, and that will take you into that project. If you don't want to view the window, click off of it on the map, and you won't see it any longer. You can edit which jobs you see as well by the market segment that job would be in, the plant attached to that job, the salesperson who created that project, the status of the project, the line of business, and the division. These both are related to the plant attached to the project. Whatever plant attached to that is attached to that project, whatever that line of business of that plant or whatever region of that plant is which region or which plant or which line of business this project would fall under. You can also filter by quantity. These ranges are set in admin, where you can see projects with 0 to 100 cubic yards or tons or meters, whatever your unit of measurement is, or any other range you'd like to set. It is important to note that it will default, the start date will default to 6 months before today, and the end date defaults to 1 month from today. If your bid date does not fall in that range, you will not see that project on the map. Make sure that if you don't see that project on the map, to change the start or end date to include the bid date you created for that project. You can also expand the map to full page by clicking these arrows in the top right corner. This filter stays with you. However, you can move it out of the way to see everything on the map. If you'd like to go back to the original size, click the arrows again, and it returns to the previous view. From the project bid map, you can search for any address you'd like. And that will drop a pin, a flag, at that location. Then if you click on a plant, it will show you the route to that project, along with the name of the plant, and the distance traveled, along with the estimated time. If you click on this flag, it'll also give you the address. It'll put it in pre-planning status. And if you click on the Add New Project, that'll take you right to the wizard to create a brand new project with the address already inputted for that project. Go back to project bid map, and you notice that all the filters that we've already changed it to are still there.